Well, you got me at my most beautiful.
Jai, Muktavanya Prabhu ki Jai. I will just say a few words. Muktavanya Prabhu, очень старший преданный, который живет в храме в Бостоне. Он ученик Шрила Прабхупады, регулярно дает лекции в бостонском храме, и у него потрясающее чувство юмора. У него также очень ярко выраженное такое очень особое качество смирения. Он всегда занят так или иначе поклонением божествам, я несколько вопросов я потом просто задам ему, что просто он немножко рассказал о себе, о своем служении, потому что иначе он будет рассказывать о чем угодно, только не о себе, но это просто его особое смирение. Yeah, I just gave you the introduction about you, and I'm not going to translate it. Vanchikalpaturubhishya kripa sindhu bhaivacha patitanam pavanebhya vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Muktavanya Prabhu ki Jai. Thank you so much for joining us. Спасибо большое, что вы присоединились к нам. Right from Boston Temple, из бостонского храма.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. You want to start me off, Chaitanya?
Okay. I just wanted to ask you, when you are as a pujari in the Boston Temple, you are worshipping Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha, and you also have Jagannath Baladev Subhadra on the altar, and Gaur-Nitai.
Yeah.
Who do you think is like the main person for you on the altar? Like Aindra was talking about the fact that Lalita is his guru. Maybe have some organization. Okay. Просто он поклоняется в Бостоне, и хотел бы спросить его, поскольку там у них есть божества Горнитай, Джаганатхи, Баладева Субадры и Рады Гопиджана Валабхи, которые сын Шрила Прабхупада, то я хотел спросить, с кем из божеств у него более близкие отношения?
For me, I concentrate on Baladev a lot. I went to Mayapur about a year and a half ago with a friend who's specifically Jagannath Bhaktin, and we went to the Rajapur temple every day. And of course, always I've been concentrating on Baladev on the altar a lot. Radha Gopi Vallabha and Gaur-Nitai too, of course. But I would say if I concentrate on someone in particular, it's Baladev. He's a spiritual master, original spiritual master.
Oh, so it's unusual, isn't it? Это очень необычно, что кто-то, когда поклоняется на алтаре, концентрируется на Баладеве, на Балараме. Мне кажется, это необычно. What you think it's unusual, or is it?
I don't know if it's unusual. I mean, of course, Radharani is beautiful and smiling very sweetly, and Krishna, Gaur-Nitai, I always worship, and probably going to go to Mayapur again next January. But Baladev is the original spiritual master, and I approach Krishna through my spiritual master, Satsarup Das Goswami and Prabhupada, and that's my main concentration, inspiration.
And do you, just wanted to, you see, like, can you imagine yourself being in a war zone and worshiping the deity? Можете представить себе, что вы где-то, где идет война, и вы поклоняетесь божествам?
In this life, I've never been in a war zone. I hope I won't be. In past lives, who knows? We've probably all been through everything in past lives, but in this life, I've always lived a pretty easy life. And I can't imagine the trauma and difficulty, the pain of people who have to live through actual war. It's beyond me. I just feel a great admiration for all the devotees there in Ukraine who are going through all this traumatic time.
What is the best joke you can make to make people a little bit less worried about the war? Какую шутку бы ты придумал для того, чтобы как-то расслабить преданных, которые в ситуации войны?
Here's a joke. It's relatable to Krishna consciousness. I told it in class the other day, and the Indian devotees here didn't seem to find it funny, but it's an American type humor. Maybe it'll be good for Ukrainian too. But there was a man, and he fell off a cliff, a steep, sharp mountain, and he was falling down, and he caught a branch of a tree sticking out from the wall of the cliff. So he stopped falling, he was holding on, and he started to pray to God. And he said, if there's anyone up there, can you please help me? And a big voice came from the sky and said, just let go of the branch and I'll catch you. And the man thought for a minute and he said, is there anybody else up there?
Если Мата Женя мне разрешит, я переведу. Я спросил, какую шутку могли бы вы представить нам, которая вам поможет, которая нам поможет в ситуации, некоторые в ситуации войны. И он сказал, ну, не знаю, вы поймете ли, это американский юмор, но украинцам тоже может подойти. И история такая, кто-то падает с горы, со скалы и как-то схватился за какую-то ветку дерева и держится, и обратился к Господу с молитвой. Вы могли бы мне помочь, пожалуйста, как-то ответить, что мне делать? И большой такой грозный голос с небес говорит, отпусти эту ветку, я тебя подхвачу. Подумал секундочку, а кто-нибудь еще там сверху есть? Да. Thank you. I translated it, but I think it's probably an inspiration for many of us.
We have to depend on Krishna in good times and difficult times. I woke up this.
То есть заботиться, зависеть от Кришны нужно и в сложные моменты, и когда легко, да. Интересно. And
I woke the deities this morning. I always get down to the temple room about a half an hour before Mangalarti, and sometimes the pujari doesn't wake up and come. Almost always they come, but today the pujari didn't come, so I woke the deities and offered the Mangalarti on the altar. And you have to be ready to do anything in Krishna's service, and that's one thing I learned from being with Satsvarup Maharaj's servants where he lives is if something isn't being done, they don't say, "Oh, you were supposed to do this and you didn't do it." They just do it. It's not being done and it has to be done, so I have to do it.
Для ютуберов я просто перейду быстренько. Сегодня Прабhu будил божества, и обычно пуджари просыпаются, но сегодня они проснулись. И ему пришлось провести все Мангаларати и все остальное, что было после этого. И это одно из вещей, которые он говорит, научился как услуг Сатсваруп Махараджа, которые говорят, что иногда кто-то должен помочь, но нельзя полностью полагаться, если что-то не так, нужно самому все сделать. Так происходит часто в сознании Кришны, нужно иногда делать все самому. Do you wake the deities every morning, or is there certain days?
No, I don't have any assigned days right now, but I'm always there early, so I keep my eye on the pujari room and make sure if the pujari doesn't come, I jump in and do it. It's not frequently, but once in a while, I wake the deities.
So you're like the best manager who just doesn't do anything, and then if somebody doesn't do his job, you just step in.
Yeah, do the needful. And tell you something else a little funny if you want it light. We were reading in the Lilamrita yesterday, and one lady, it was on the chapter, please distribute books, and one lady wrote to Prabhupada saying that she got a book in the airport, and she's been feeling it was a wonderful experience for her, and she said she was tired of the struggle, day-to-day struggle of work and everything. And in the United States, we call it the rat race. I don't know if you have that same expression in Ukrainian.
Yeah, we just say rat race.
Yeah. So she said, I'm tired of the rat race. I'm familiar with that because I had a job when I was married for about 20 years. I know about the rat race, and we have this one bumper sticker in the United States you see sometimes, and it says, the trouble with the rat race is even if you win, you're still a rat.
Yeah, I will just try to translate that one. Прабhu рассказывает, как он продавал книжки, и кто-то, кому он продавал книжки в аэропорту, сказал: я устал от этой мышиной гонки, буквально, если перевести, rat race. И он говорит, что есть такая наклейка на бамперы. В Америке много наклеек на бамперах. И одна из них звучит так: даже если ты выиграешь в мышиной или в крысиной гонке, ты все равно крыса. Так или иначе, ты останешься крысой. Да. Yeah. Okay. What is the most inspirational story connected or somehow, no, considering that Niranjan Maharaj is GBC and former temple president of Boston, he was there from like early days, well, at least from the middle of 80s, and then
he joined here in 1972. He was president here from 78 to 83 for 4 years. He was a fantastic temple president, best temple president I've ever known. He was always very kind, always very considerate and of every individual. Just a great, great devotee from forever. He led by example, of course. He was a book distributor for years, and he took out parties, traveling Sankirtan parties for years, and then he became temple president, and then regional secretary, and started traveling all over the world and preaching, doing a lot of home programs for people who didn't live near Boston, couldn't come to the temple hardly ever. He would visit them in New Hampshire and Maine and Canada. And always been concerned about each individual disciple and devotee person.
Это краткая биография Ниранджана Свами, как он был президентом храма с 78 по 80, я не запомнил точно, по 84 или 85, и Прабхурат. Может, он присоединился тоже в Бостоне в 72 году. И всегда заботился обо всех преданных, очень был таким заботливым, лучшим президентом храма, который Muktavanya Prabhu помнит. Do you remember, did Niranjana Swami ever go on the altar doing puja, or he never been a pujari?
Most of it, he did, of course, but mostly he, from a very young age in Krishna consciousness, he had all kinds of responsibilities that he couldn't do that much. But he's definitely had pujari duties, everything. He's always concerned about the worship of Radha Gopi Vallabha and our deities here. When he was here a couple of weeks ago, he told some of the devotees things he wanted them to improve on the altar with the lighting and the painting and everything. Niranjana Swami has always been completely dedicated to the deities here and to Prabhupada and his service. But he's definitely, I don't think he did very much deity worship himself, but he's always been deity worshiper by his responsibilities, by his consciousness.
Опять же, для ютуберов, вкратце, Марадж долго много проповедовал и в какой-то степени тоже занимался служением на алтаре в качестве пуджари в ранние годы. И даже вот 2 недели назад он тоже приезжал и спрашивал, и пытался как-то установить какие-то, может быть, улучшения в поклонении Ради Гопиджана Валабхи в Бостоне. Интересно, может, у вас есть какие-то вопросы? Было бы легче в каком-то смысле, если бы у вас были какие-то вопросы, может быть, связанные с поклонением в Бостоне. Oh, Achyuta Lila Prabhu. Yeah, I have a question here from Achyuta Lila Prabhu.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Можно звуком или писать надо?
Можно звуком лучше, да, лучше звуком.
Ага. Ну вот такой вопрос по пудже. Когда, ну и как бы о себе буду говорить, когда ты в пудже уже, ну как бы все техники освоил, все мантры освоил, как бы все делаешь как бы уже, ну так, механически, на автомате, можно сказать. Вот. И такое ощущение, что ну все, я пуджу освоил, и становится как-то скучно все и машинально. Вот какой следующий шаг нужно делать?
A question is, when you are doing a puja, and sometimes you come to a point where you are quite proficient, you know how to do it, how not to do it mechanically or not to do it just on automatic kind of fashion. Я правильно перевел?
Yeah, and it's the same in every kind of devotional service, and you get good at something, and you know, maybe, of course, we have to be good mechanically at what we do, especially something as sensitive as deity worship. You have to be proficient, exacting. You have to be good at it, but we don't become mechanical because we know it's Krishna. We're Radharani. It's Krishna. It's Gornitai that we're personally dressing, worshiping. So we don't have so much realization yet. And most of us, there are many pujaris who have a lot of realization and understanding that they're directly addressing Krishna. I don't. Many devotees don't have so much realization of that, but we know it philosophically. We're convinced of it intellectually. So we rely on our knowledge, our transcendental knowledge that He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From Him ecstatic prema emanates. By Him ignorance is destroyed. Our ignorance has been destroyed by knowledge and by realization. Not that we so much realization, but we have definitely enough realization to concentrate on what we're doing with pretty deep understanding of what we're doing and who we're doing it for and with and why. We shouldn't become mechanical. I don't think devotees generally are mechanical. We get good at what we're doing, but devotees don't become robots or anything like that. Devotees are sincere. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here if we weren't sincere. If you weren't sincere, you wouldn't do what you do.
Thank you. Achyuta Lila Prabhu, вам понятный был ответ или перевод? Ну, идея заключается в том, что я так понимаю, что механически это одно, но преданные, они достаточно, все осознанные, они делают это, потому что они преданные, они просто как роботы. Yeah. Okay. I have a question, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Okay. And it's a personal question because, you know, when, okay, yeah, I will just say it in our language. Мой вопрос, у меня вопрос, я хотел бы просто прояснить для себя, в какой момент появился вот полный ачаман, когда преданные начали делать полный ачаман, потому что когда я учился, этого еще не было. Я хочу просто выяснить, в какой момент это произошло. The question is, you know, you're around the Boston Temple for a long time, like whatever, 45 years.
Years.
Sorry?
Over 50 years.
Over
I started
50 years.
coming very seriously in 1970. It took me a while to settle down, but yeah, about 50 since 1970.
So 53 years, okay. Вы рядом с храмом 53 года, с 70-го года. Yeah, so my question is, when, at what point this procedure, the ritual of a full achaman with many mantras and many mudras came in? At what point did you start seeing this, when devotees do achaman and then they do the feet and then cheeks and lip and then mudras for the ears?
Well, I started going on the altar in 1978, and at that time, you know, deity worship developed from very, very simple form in the beginning, and it has developed so much over the years. We had the full achaman from 1978. I mean, I never did any mudras or anything. It's become much more ritualized and detailed over the years since then. And I still do it in a very basic way, simple way that I learned in the beginning. We don't want to become too ritualized because then it can become like an exclusive club, like we're the Brahmin.
Wait a minute. Yeah, the exclusive club. That's a keyword. Эксклюзивный клуб. Если мы становимся более ритуализированными. Exclusive club. What do you mean by that? We don't want to become an exclusive club. My mind is not.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Krishna consciousness was Prabhupada established it. And Lord Chaitanya established it. Definitely, the Brahmins in his time, they were the first ones they were the ones who were complaining to the Kazi about, everybody's starting to chant these mantras now, and it used to be our domain, and now everyone is chanting mantras and it's like, what's going to be the need for us? We're the Brahmins, and we don't want to become like that. We don't want to. Krishna consciousness is meant for everyone. Not that everyone's going to go on the altar, and not that everyone's going to be a temple president or a GBC or a spiritual master, but everyone is equally eligible to worship the deities in their own way, simple way, or a more developed way. But things over the course of time, I've seen they can become little too ritualized, and, in my opinion. And try to keep it more basic, more natural.
Окей. Да, вот эта идея, что каждый может поклоняться божествам, поэтому это не такой эксклюзивный клуб, как там кто-то может быть президентом храма, кто-то GBC и так далее. И не ритуализировать это все. Okay, I have a question here from the devotees here, and the question is simple, but I don't know how you answer it. It's a difficult question.
Okay.
Влияет ли качество нашей джапы на отношения с божествами? Does the quality of our japa influence our relationship with the deities?
Yeah, of course, everything works together in Krishna consciousness. Japa is one of our most basic things we do, and of course deity worship is one of the most basic. Everything works together in Krishna consciousness. Everything supports everything else, and everything is influenced by everything else. So japa is one of the most basic things we do. So it helps, nice japa helps every aspect of our devotional life. Dealing with devotees, taking care of the deities, and feeling satisfied in our service, everything.
And another question is, I will read it just first. Что Шрила Прабхупада говорил про важность для пуджари прочитать все 16 стихов до начала служения на алтаре? Насколько это важно? Okay. Now, I don't know what you'll say. What did Srila Prabhupada say about importance to finish all 16 rounds before you start your service on the altar? How is that important?
Well, I never heard him say anything specific about that.
Я никогда не слышал, чтобы он что-то говорил такое.
But I know in general, the best thing is if you can chant all your japa as early as possible, then it'll help everything all through your day. I never heard him say anything specific.
Лучше всего, чем раньше, тем лучше закончить. Но я никогда не слышал, чтобы он говорил, что нужно закончить до того, как идешь на алтарь. Yeah, that's.
Really don't know about that.
Да, нет такой информации.
If you can do it, if you can get up that early and chant all your rounds before you go on the altar in the morning, all glories to you. I've never been able to do that. I know some devotees can get up really early and chant a lot before Mangalarti, but I can't do that. I've never done that.
Да, если вы можете встать так рано и прочитать всю джапу перед тем, как вы начинаете на алтаре, то вся вам слава. Сам Прабhu говорит, что я так не смог делать. Я знаю некоторые преданные, которые могут до Мангаларти прочитывать всю джапу, но он сам так не может. Yeah. Okay. Если нет вопросов, я просто задам вопросы, которые мне интересны. Если у вас нет вопросов, может, если у кого-то вопрос есть, у Кирилла Прабhu или Премадаты Прабhu, я буду очень благодарен. Какие-то вопросы, потому что Yeah, I had this question. У меня был
Yeah.
вопрос. And the question is about where do you gain your inspiration? В чем вы находите свое вдохновение? Inspiration to, like live in a temple. It's like, it's rare. Это не так часто люди живут в храме. Достаточно редкая вещь. И где вы берете вдохновение? Уже 50 лет, 53 года в сознании Кришны, где берете вдохновение? Where do you, after 53 years in Krishna consciousness, where do you gain your inspiration from?
Well, I have to live somewhere, and if I'm not, and I've always been pretty well suited to living in the temple. I like temple life. I like the regulation. I like being in the temple, living with the deities and the devotees, and my main and all the devotees are really nice, sincere people. That's very inspirational. My main inspiration is from Prabhupada and Satsvarup Maharaj and all the great devotees I've known over the years. There's so many. There was one lady in Gita Nagari named Mother Kalini.
Yeah.
Such a great devotee, and so many devotees over the years. But I know Prabhupada wanted the temples to go on. The temples are the centers of devotional activities in the different cities and countries and towns throughout the world. And I've always taken it as a primary responsibility to just help take care of Prabhupada's temple.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, вдохновение идет от многих вещей. Ему нужно где-то жить, естественно, храмовая жизнь. Он сказал, что ему подходит, ему нравится и все правила, которые связаны с храмовой жизнью, общение с преданными, особенно с преданным Сатсварупа Махарадж, Матаджи Каулини и, конечно, Шрила Прабхупад. Это главное вдохновение. I have a question here, and it's a tricky question, I think. Вопрос: если пропадает вкус к служению и духовной практике, как понять, это причина в невнимательности и недостатке усилий или в оскорблениях? Okay, the question is, if you lose taste to the service or spiritual practice, is that because of your inattention and lack of endeavor, or is it because of offenses? Or how do you know that?
I mean, I've made a lot of offenses over the years. I'm better now, but when I was younger, I used to make, just from being, arrogant and self-righteous.
Я много оскорблений совершил в своей жизни, особенно будучи молодым, будучи довольно наглым.
I never lost my taste. I go through definitely difficult times in the temple and Krishna consciousness. One time, Naranjana Swami, when he was president, he moved me to a small preaching center for a year in Hartford, Connecticut, just to, he felt that I needed a break from the hectic Boston temple life. So, sometimes, you can definitely go through difficult periods and lose some taste, maybe, but even when you lose some taste, we always know what we're doing is right. We know we're chanting Hare Krishna, we have to do that, we're worshiping our spiritual master in disciplic succession. That's right. We have to keep doing that. And we have confidence that if I just keep doing it as sincerely as possible, the things I know I have to do, then everything will work out in due course of time, and I'll regain my taste, my mind will become more peaceful, and I'll get purified.
Okay.
We can't, there's one of my favorite stories from, I'll let you do that.
Okay, I will just summarize it, because basically Prabhu говорит, что будучи молодым, он совершал много оскорблений, и вкус не пропадает, но бывают испытания, сложности. Один раз Ниранджан Махарадж его перевел, будучи президентом храма, перевел его в другой храм, маленький проповеднический храм в Хартфорте, подальше от сложных реалий Бостона. И то есть, если продолжать, то и проходит очищение, но не терять, даже можно потерять вкус на какое-то время, но потом все приходит как-то так. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you go ahead with your story. I kind of summarized it.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever happens, what can you do? You just have to keep going. Just push on the best we can.
Что бы ни произошло, нужно просто продолжать двигаться вперед.
Ultimate Prabhupada did say that ultimate success is guaranteed for the sincere and serious practitioner. In Krishna consciousness, we can't fail as long as we just keep trying, just keep pushing, no matter what. I made an offense, I have to apologize, I have to rectify, I did this wrong, I did that, whatever. What can you do? You just pick yourself up and dust yourself off and get back in the race. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. And it'll be successful.
Да, как Шрила Прабхупада сказал, что для искреннего и убежденного практикующего главное оставаться и практиковать, независимо от того, что случилось. Если что-то случилось, нужно вернуться обратно in the race, в смысле в процесс, в это движение. Ачуталила Прабху, может, вы зададите вопрос, потому что я не могу его... Если вы скажете, мне легче будет его перевести. Большое спасибо. And thank you so much for answering that question.
Какой, первый или второй?
Ну, давайте вы первый сначала, а потом второй.
Что?
Да, сначала первый, наверное, вопрос.
Ну, когда ты в алтаре, и у тебя есть альтернатива, либо пунктуально открыть алтарь, либо чуть-чуть опоздать, но зато чистоты станет больше. Ну, потому что ты успеешь там что-то прибраться более качественно. Вот что важнее? Ну, чем можно пренебречь, ради чего? Или ничем нельзя?
Окей, спасибо за вот это дополнение. Okay, the question is, and it's another tricky question. If you are on the altar and you have something that you have to do on time, punctually, but then you will compromise on cleanliness, and is it okay to delay a little bit something to make sure that the cleaning is done, for example? Or so what is the basic principle? The cleanliness, what's the most important, the cleanliness or the punctuality? or he added, or the both?
If it's really, I put the emphasis on being on time. Or I mean, sometimes you might feel a little late, but if you
Я ставлю подчеркиваю обычно время, чтобы все было вовремя. Немножко можно опоздать, но я концентрируюсь на времени.
I know again from just being up at Satru Maharaj's a lot. If there's something he wants done and he expects it at a certain time, well, if you're a little dirty or something, well, you just might have to do it, even though it's not quite proper. But he's really not going to like it if you're like 15 minutes, late. They definitely won't like that. So,
да, то есть, да, на опыте, когда он приходит там Сатсварупа Махараджу, то есть нужно все делать вовремя. Если немножко ты там грязный, что-то, это не такая уж большая проблема. Но если там 15 минут задержался, это большая проблема. Да. Thank you. That's a good. Thank you for the answer. And there is another one, and this one I cannot translate. I need to hear it from Achyuta Lila. Achyuta Lila, Prabhu, пожалуйста, озвучьте второй вопрос, потому что я просто, я когда перевожу, у меня мозг не соображает, чтобы еще и понять, что вы имели в виду. Я могу перевести просто. Как каништа, который поклоняется, постепенно вырастает. Я не понимаю, как вообще можно вырасти. Харе Кришна. Achyuta Lila Prabhu. Я тогда просто прочитаю его. Как каништа, который поклоняется божеству, постепенно вырастает до уровня Мадхьямы. Какие изменения у него происходят внутри, или какие изменения он должен в себе произвести, чтобы вырасти до Мадхьямы. Okay, I'll try to translate that. How does the Kanishta Adhikari, who is engaged in deity worship, gradually grows to the level of Madhyama Adhikari? What transformations happen internally to him, and what changes he has to incite in himself to grow to the level of Madhyama?
Just like the way I look at it is, it's like when you were a little kid, and when you're a little kid, what are you conscious of? Your toys and the games you're playing, and your mother and father, and your sister and brother. That's about all you know. You're not a very deep thinker. You're not, you just might play, and maybe that's all you know. So, but as you grow up, naturally, you develop, your mind develops, your intelligence develops, your depth of thought develops, your philosophical inquisitiveness and understanding develops. It's normal, it's natural. So Krishna consciousness is the development is not automatic like a machine, but it's automatic in the way that growing from boyhood to youth to old age is, it's automatic. You changes take place very naturally. We just grow up as we go along. Our understanding deepens, our devotion deepens. Everything deepens. Everything improves naturally by the process.
Окей. Это ответ, в принципе, такой, как вы растете, вы когда ребенок, вы играетесь, вы незаметно для себя становитесь взрослым, и вас интересуют другие вещи. И это не происходит каким-то искусственным способом, это естественно происходит в процессе роста. Вы это замечаете. Это не какой-то механический процесс, что нужно что-то сделать, что-то изменить, и оно изменится. Это больше похоже на трансформацию от возраста, от ребенка к старшему, а не какая-то физическая, ну, какой-то прием, который можно применить. Okay. Another question. Yes. Yes. Keep going. No, sorry. Please keep going.
We're in the family. We're members of the Prabhupada's family. We're in Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement, and they're taking care of us, and they're helping us every step of the way. The spiritual master is helping you. Prabhupada is helping us. Bhakti Siddhanta, Saraswati Maharaj, everyone is helping us and pulling us and pushing us and dragging us, and they're taking care of us.
Окей, мы часть семьи, в этой семье кто-то нас заботится, и кто-то нас тянет. Это процесс, который проходит духовный учитель, либо Шрила Прабхупад. Кто-то вас тянет за собой. Это забота, которая проявляется в этом. Это тоже ответ на этот вопрос. Okay, another question, and it's getting harder and harder. Okay, should we consciously attempt to worship the deities directly on the altar, or is it better when you don't have certain level of consciousness, be engaged in some other kinds of service? What is the minimum, to be able to do the deity worship?
I mean, everyone has a certain propensity, and
Каждое свои качества.
some devotees are naturally good at deity worship, and they like it. Everyone should do deity worship. If you're not a Brahmin on the altar offering artik or dressing, everyone is worshiping the deities in kirtan and class. That's all deity worship also. But especially every Brahmin initiate should have some kind of duties on the altar sometimes, and some devotees are really attracted to it. If you're more of a cook, then cook. That's deity worship. If you're a book distributor or a temple cleaner or whatever the service is, it's all deity worship. But we always have to come before the deities too. Worship them directly by kirtan.
Okay. Ответ заключается в том, что, да, если вы со второй инициации Брахман, то вам, естественно, вы будете какое-то служение на алтаре, это естественно, от вас ожидается это. Но любой другой преданный, который занимается служением в храме, если он готовит или убирает, или даже поет киртан, то в этот процесс он находится перед божествами, это служение божествам. Поэтому не думайте, что вы можете как-то избежать этого. Okay.
That was okay.
No, that was a good answer, but you kind of contradicted yourself, but that's okay.
How did I contradict?
No, you just kind of said that if you're a Brahmana, you will have to do it, but then you don't have to do it. So you have to do it if you're a Brahmana, or you don't have to do it if you're a Brahmana.
Every Brahmin should have some duties on the altar.
У каждого Брахмана должны быть что-то, что они делают на алтаре. Каждого преданного, который получил вторую инициацию, должны быть что-то, что они делают на алтаре. Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear. That's because that's motivation for us.
Yeah, we should definitely want to worship the deities for sure. Definitely.
Мы все должны хотеть поклоняться божествам. Точно, это естественно.
We want to go back to Godhead. We want to be with Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. We want to take care of him personally. So we practice here, but we do it here. Not just practice here, we do it here, but going to Goloka Vrindavan on the altar.
Да, мы все хотим вернуться в духовный мир, быть с Кришной на Галоке Вриндаван, и поэтому мы будем это делать здесь, приходя на алтарь, будучи с Кришной на алтаре. Okay. And the question, would you like to come to Ukraine after the war is over?
I'd like to. Niranjana Swami invited me there a few years ago, and I'd like to come. I'd like to come.
Ниранджан Свами вас пригласил несколько лет назад приехать в Украину, и он хочет приехать в Украину. Thank you. That really inspires me. And I just wanted to ask you, how do I really have this problem. I have a problem with humility. And how do you become you know that? And when I'm next to you, I think I'm so arrogant, and I feel like I am so arrogant and so proud. Everything is, when I'm near to somebody who is like really proud, and I feel okay. But when I'm next to you, I feel so arrogant. And I just wanted to ask you this old question, which nobody knows how to answer. How do you become humble? Да, я просто сказал, что я хочу.
I mean, the main humility is just to follow instructions. Just to chant japa, to serve Krishna in whatever way we can. We're all products of Kali Yuga. We're all rough around the edges. I grew up in the United States with all kind of crazy people, and I was a crazy kid. And we have a lot of rough edges, a lot of things that need to be purified. But if we see each other as great souls. Anyone who's chanting Hare Krishna, serving in Prabhupada's movement, is a great soul by definition. And so we've become humble over the years, and it's a natural process. Even in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, was it Govinda or Jagadananda? Sometimes they criticize Lord Chaitanya. It's all pastime, it's all their Leela, but everyone in the spiritual world has a very interesting, unique personality. It doesn't mean they're not humble. It doesn't mean they're not great, great, great souls. So I know you personally, Chaitanya Chandra Das, and you're a great soul. You're a very sincere servant of your Guru and Krishna. I know you're a great soul. Yeah, we're a little rough around the edges, but that's what we're here for, to get smoothed out, and we will. Krishna knows how to smooth out our imperfections.
Окей, я спросил такой сложный, извечный вопрос. Почему? Потому что когда я рядом с Муктаваней и Прабhu, я чувствую себя, что гордость такая выпирает, какие качества видишь в себе, такие не очень хорошие. И как стать смиренным? И вот он рассказывает о том, что это натуральный процесс, это происходит со временем. Все, кто пришли в сознание Кришны, они очень хорошие, преданные. И он говорит, что я тоже хороший, преданный. Ну, есть определенные вещи, которые со временем оботрутся, просто нужно продолжать, и оно как-то придет в норму. Даже среди спутников Господа Чайтаньи были такие, например, как Джагадананда, которые проявляли какие-то качества, которые были формами гордости. Это не так уж страшно. Харе Кришна. Thank you so much.
The basic humility is just to serve in ISKCON, to follow the regular principles and chant japa. You have to be humble to do that. If anybody's doing that, that's like 90% of becoming humble, and all the other things will be dealt with by Guru and Krishna and ourselves, our own endeavor over time.
Да, то есть если мы в ИСККОНе и мы следуем правилам, предписаниям, читаем 16 кругов, это уже само по себе 90% смирения. Для того, чтобы это делать, уже нужно обладать очень большим смирением. А все остальное это со временем добавится. Jai. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you have any funny, interesting story for the end, would be the best. Just tell some story, maybe about Niranjana Swami, how he chastised you or something. I don't know.
Oh boy. You don't want to cry, do you?
No, I'm okay.
I'll tell you one thing. One year when Niranjana Brahmachari was president here, they called us up from New York and they wanted us to make 60 gallons of halava for their Rath Yatra festival. And I was doing a lot of cooking at the time, so Niranjana Swami asked me to make the halava. And so I worked all day, made 3 big batches of halava, ended up 60 gallons of halava. And I was, it was hard work, and I was kind of proud of myself for doing it. And Niranjana Swami came in the back door of the temple by the kitchen, and I told him I did it, and he said, "Oh, good, Mukta, let me taste it." And so it was offered already, so I gave him some to taste, and he tasted it, and he goes, "Yeah, Mukta, there's no sugar in the halava." So I made 60 gallons of halava in 3 big batches, and I forgot the sugar in all 3 batches. That's about as dumb as it gets. And he wasn't happy.
Однажды, когда Ниранджана с вами был президентом храма, Ниранджана Брамачари тогда был президентом храма, из Нью-Йорка позвонили, заказали на Радхаятру халаву. И в то время Мукта много готовил, и Ниранджана с вами попросил его приготовить. Это было 240 килограмм халавы в 3 казанах больших. И он закончил, целый день работал. Вечером Ниранджана Махарадж заходит в заднюю дверь, там, где кухня, задний проезд за храмом в Бостоне. Туда он зашел и спрашивает: "Ну что ты сделал?" Он говорит: "Да, дай мне попробовать. Она уже была предложена, он дает ему тарелку, он пробует, и оказывается, во все 3 партии халава, то есть сейчас 240 килограмм, они все были приготовлены без сахара. Ему это не очень понравилось. So, did you add some sugar in the end, or did you do a syrup or something?
I had to add the sugar, but when you add it at the end, it's not the same. It makes the halva all kind of liquidy. Anyway, we brought it to New York for Rath Yatra and they served it out.
Да, он, конечно, добавил потом сахар и раздали ее в Нью-Йорке, но это не то же самое, потому что если в конце добавляешь сахар, то халава становится такой жидковатой. Это не очень хорошо. I didn't translate it as dumb as you get. I just you cannot translate that. I don't think it will be legal.
It's really stupid. It was really stupid.
Это была такая большая глупость на самом деле, которую я сделал. Но так произошло. Thank you. I have to say that, you know, I got inspiration from you. I don't know if anybody else did. If anybody else did, you can just say Haribol. But если вам понравилось, меня вдохновила эта беседа. Если кого-то вдохновила, можете сказать Харибол.
Харибол.
Haribol.
Харибол.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. And I don't want
I'll
to
see you one of these days.
Thank you. I really pray that I will be able to see you again. Спасибо большое. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Panchakalpatrubhesha kripa sindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Muktavanya Prabhu ki jai. Boston ISKCON ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.